Okay, so this is the Module 11 skills test, and just as a word of fair warning, there's a lot of uploading in this one. So if you be prepared for that, you're going to have to upload several images to your instructor. Now, you are directed in the first question to go to a website. The website looks like this. It looks like a national map, and the instructions say you need to pick two pairs of cities. Eureka, California, Des Moines, Iowa, Oak City, Oklahoma, Bismarck, North Dakota, Eagle, Colorado, Akron, Colorado. Um, you pick two pairs of those three sets of cities. And let me just show you what you're going to do then. Once you've chosen which of the two pairs you want to work with, let's take, for example, Eureka, California. So from this website, you click on California. You click on California, you'll see all these different cities in California. There's Eureka up on the northern coast. And you're going to wind up with a bunch of graphs. Now, it's only the first graph that we're really interested in, but when you save, if you right-click, if you're on a PC and you right-click and say Save Image As, it's going to save all three of the graphs. That's fine. But or if you want to just do if you want to snip and just do that top graph, that's fine as well. That's the graph that you're going to be looking at, and this is the graph that your instructor is going to want to see when you do your upload. So you have that graph, you upload it for Eureka. You do the same thing for the next city. So if you chose the first pair, you'd need to do Eureka, California, as well as Des Moines, Iowa. Then you also have to choose another pair. Okay, so you do all four cities, grab those graphs, upload them. Now, what do you do with those graphs? In question 5, it tells us we need to calculate the yearly range of mean maximum temperatures from the first city. So let's go back to Eureka and just show you what I'm talking about. We're focusing on this top graph. Notice that the top graph has a red line, it's got a blue line, and it's got a black line in between. What the red line indicates, now this is 30 years of climate data. The red line indicates the highest high temperature from those 30 years on a particular date. So for example, January 15th, you might have had a certain January 15th in the last 30 years that was really hot, in which case its little data point would be depicted on that red line. Similarly, you might have had a January 15th in the last 30 years that was really cold. That data point would wind up on the blue line. What the black line is the average high temperature on January 15th, and so forth and so on. So what you're seeing is extremes, the hottest high temperature, the coolest high temperature, and then you have the average high temperature for each date over the last 30 years. Now, what do? Ignore the red line, ignore the blue line. You want to focus on the black line. You want to find out what's the difference in the daily mean during the course of the year. So you go over, you look at your line, notice that it's not a flat line. It goes up and it goes down. You find the point where it's at its highest, and you try to approximate. And again, this is going to take a little bit of interpretation, but you try to approximate what y value goes along with that particular point. So to me, it looks like somewhere here in early September, looks like that might have been the high point of my black line. So I go over and I see, okay, where does that fall on the y-axis? Notice that in the y-axis, these are degree readings in degrees Fahrenheit. And similarly, you would find the low spot of that black line and try to estimate what that y value would be. And you take the difference of those two values. So you're going to calculate the yearly range. That means you need to approximate the lowest mean maximum temperature and subtract that from the highest mean maximum temperature. And you also want to, of course, specify which city you're talking about and what that yearly range is. You do that whole process for all four of the cities that you chose. So that takes you through questions 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then finally, questions 9 and 10 are sort of a wrap-up. It gives you a chance to give an explanation as to why certain cities have large ranges in their daily maximum temperatures, and other cities you're going to discover don't have much of a difference. And these are the places where you get a chance to actually explain. And again, use your reading. Go back to the chapter and learn about the different factors that influence the climate of an area, and see if you can explain why some places show a large range and why some places don't show such a large range.